Hey, how are you? My name is Felton. Welcome back to Magic the Gathering. We're back on our historic brawl kick again with Korvold. Korvold the Fey Cursed King. Whenever Korvold enters the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. Any permanent. Period. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold and draw a card. This is probably one of the most powerful commanders, period, inside of historic brawl at the moment, if you know how to build around him. I recommend lots of removal. Include your Fatal Pushes, your Bloodchief Thirsts, your Feed the Swarms, your Infernal Grasps and Abrades, your Hero's Downfalls. As much removal as you can get your hands on, while still running lots of stuff to sacrifice. Speaking of stuff to sacrifice, Haywire Might, Arboreal Grazer, Experimental Synthesizer, Shambling Ghast. Include some recursive sacrifice outlets like Persistent Specimen and Clay Revenant. You can use those to combo off really well with something like Ashnod's Altar. Not infinite mana. I don't know if there's an infinite mana combo inside of Arena at the moment. There probably is with Paradox Engine. You could probably Paradox Engine to then... So you would tap your Key to the Archive for double black, Ashnod's Altar, sack the Clay Revenant. That's 4 mana right there that you get, which would then untap the thing to be able to tap it for 2 more. So you just infinitely just use those 2 items to get mana to be able to just constantly buff Korvold until he one-shots or something. I don't know. But my list is kind of wild and all over the place, but it's something that I've had fun with and I've enjoyed. This is just kind of a general recommendations. Combos and cards that I highly recommend more than anything else include stuff like Scute Swarm and Tireless Tracker, both having landfall to make a bunch of stuff. And if you're going to do that, make sure you include the sack lands from New Capenna. Those double synergize because 1, it's essentially a double landfall trigger. Also, make sure you can also include stuff like what's the name? I apologize, dear viewer. I'm sometimes bad. Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, I think is another one. The bottom line is all the lands that you sacrifice. Those get double procs on stuff like Scute Swarm and Tireless Tracker, as well as sacrificing them in the first place triggers Korvold, highly recommended. Ashnod's Altar, if you don't have it, super great. Swiftfoot Boots for protection, highly recommended. Lots of treasure synergy with Fable of the Mirror Baker, Professional Facebreaker, and Zorn, Atsushi, and Unexpected Windfall, as well as Big Score and Goldspan. And also include Kalane to make you a little bit of treasure early if you so want as a treat. Mazemind Tome to get card advantage and scry advantage and then sack it before it gets exiled. Highly recommend you sack it before it gets exiled. Don't let it get exiled. That's not a sacrifice trigger. Speaking of sacrifice triggers, funny interactions that you don't think would work. You actually sacrifice sagas. So if you're running enchantment sagas in Korvold decks, at the end, when you sacrifice it because you finished the saga, that's a Korvold trigger. Weird synergy, but really good, because Binding of the Old Gods does great with Korvold. Targets non-land permanents, no problem, allows you to search up your Triome, because it is technically a forest card, really useful in that way. And then the Death Touch is fine, but mostly it turns into a Korvold trigger at the end. This deck is a lot of fun. I highly recommend building something like this for Korvold. He doesn't really need a lot to work, just tons of sacrifice outlets and effects. You could probably build an Ognis deck around him. Just tons of treasure so that you can just sack the treasure like crazy to then just pile the treasure into Korvold as a +1/+1 counters. But this is what I've been having fun with and been enjoying. What follows will be gameplay that I actually recorded first for once. That's why I mentioned a lot of the cards that I did, because they were what worked in the gameplay. Some things that didn't show off in the gameplay that I think work great include Lolth Spider Queen, because you can just constantly make the little spiders and sack them for Korvold triggers. Teething Wormlet synergizes really well if you get the treasures just flowing. I had an insane game the other day where I had Blood Artist and Mayhem Devil on board with Ashnod's Altar, and I sacrificed Persistent Specimen, I think 7 times in a row to drain my opponent for 14. Technically, you could get even better if you have Bastion of Remembrance on board, giving you 3 different sources of 1 point of damage, so 3 points of damage every time you sack a creature. Very, very good. And the whole time Korvold's drawing cards, by the way. Nuts interactions. This deck's really simple and straightforward in general. Just run stuff that lets you sacrifice things efficiently while having tons of mana ramp and tons of ways to get back that stuff you sacrifice if you want it back. That's why Splendid Reclamation is here, by the way, because super, super nice to be able to just be like, oh, I sacked half my lands throughout the game to Korvold triggers, or I have a bunch of sack lands in my deck list for Korvold triggers. slap that splendid reclamation down, by God, you get them all back. And you get the auto sacks from like Riveteers and Cabarettis, and then like forced sacks from like Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds. Really fun stuff. This deck's great. Highly recommend it. Go build it. Have fun. Make people mad at you because this deck has so much card advantage. It's gross. But either way, thanks for hanging out and watching. Enjoy the gameplay that follows, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Alright, I'm doing this out of order for once. Usually I don't record gameplay before I record deck tech and deck talk. So this will be in a bit of a weird order. This is both amazing and terrible. Alright, let's keep it just because I know how good it is. Because I have access to Baleful Mastery on too. I'm playing against a Ramos deck. The Korvold's pretty high up in terms of like the not bad. Korvold's pretty high up in terms of like tough to deal with. Nice. Kinda just want to let those go and see if I can't catch them sleeping. Let's just go for that. Let's just kill the Steel Overseer. Because this makes them kind of want to dump their mana into their Surge Engine. Yeah, see? Let's play the Tracker, make a Clue token. And this means next turn when I play Korvold, I will have a Clue token. I could just Riveteer's Charm to make them sack. Which is better? Probably just playing Korvold, right? This allows me to have Snakeskin Veil available for Korvold, which is nice. And Korvold's going to start to combo. As is Tireless Tracker. We keep the Snakeskin Veil because we want Korvold to not be able to be targeted by stuff, because he is the win condition, as the cool kids say. I wonder if they just misclicked there. Alright, well, they accidentally played into my Riveteer's Charm, but they don't know that. Then I have to sacrifice their thing. I kind of want to play Black Market Connections, but I kind of don't. Let's tap the Mind Stone. Sack the Clue token, because maybe I can hit a land drop now. I didn't, but I could have. This might be game. My Korvold might have already gotten out of hand for my opponent. Yeah, this is game now. I literally have lethal, so I'm just gonna hit him with a good game. Yep, goodbye Korvold. As you can see, this guy is kinda good. Alrighty. We are playing into an Urza's Battlethopter, probably an artifact theme deck. If I had green mana, this would be amazing. I'd have all my mana colors, I have great removal, great sack fodder, but I don't, so. Shit, I don't like this either. I want this because it has Faithless Looting and Ashnod's Altar. But at the same time, I know I don't need Ashnod's Altar right now. I think the better play is to just Mountain Faithless Looting and then pray that whatever I find is good. I can loot away shit that I don't care about. Like Atsushi and currently Village Rites. I think on 2 we'll play Riveteer's Overlook here. Grab a guaranteed green mana. Sounds like a good plan. I don't quite know how this hand is going to ramp out very well. I just really am trying to ramp into, it's when they... Oh, you get to do 1 whole damage to me. Wowza. Alright, well, that solved a lot of my problems. Elvish Mystic absolutely solves a lot of my problems here. Alright, that's gonna make Urza a lot harder to target, but I don't think it'll be the end of the world, because lots of my effects are like creature with highest power, creature with, or make opponent sack creature with. Math is hard. I can play Korvold. Very dangerous play here, by the way, but I think it's worth it. I think getting Korvold as an onboard threat immediately into a deck that is... I doubt running any removal is incredibly useful. I mean, they could have removal. I believe you're allowed to run white mana at the moment inside of colorless only decks. I need to make sure I properly tap for my Bastion of Remembrance, though. Right, let's make sure that I tap... Wait, hang on. I need to add one color among my legendary permanents for my black, tap my red, tap my colorless, then play Bastion of Remembrance. I don't really want to swing with Korvold, but I do want to draw, but I don't want to swing, but I do want to draw. I think I'm going to take the nice middle ground and use this as a turn to play a tapped land. And just hold up Tamio's safekeeping, and then maybe next turn make a bunch of treasure with Unexpected Windfall, dumping my Darkboar Pathway. I don't actually know what this does. I should have read this. Remove 3 charge. Okay, so they need 3 charge. I need to just find a braid then. That's fine. That's not a big deal. Alright, Mind Stone is good. Tap you, tap... I guess you. I want to play this on black, I think, so I have another good source of black. We're gonna swing. I want to draw cards. Bastion of Remembrance is great for this. I can just hit their Scepter, can't I? Or I can hit their Swift... Let's just hit their Scepter while... You know what? Yeah, let's hit their Scepter while I'm thinking about it. I think that's the smart play. I might play Goldspan Dragon this next turn. That might be the smart play. And each opponent gets a tapped power token. Thanks for the free power token, I guess. I guess they're like, haha, I do 5 damage now, because they don't know what else to do. I feel like they kind of got caught by surprise by the Korvold. And how much value it brings. God, I wish when my opponent sacked it gave me card advantage too. That'd be sick! Oh, Splendid Reclamation means I can start sacking lands. I think the smart play here is to just play Goldspan. And just start swinging for the fences. I'm just gonna sack the treasure token because there's no reason to keep the treasure tokens around, honestly. I don't really have much that I can play with my treasure tokens. And now I'm just swinging for a ton each turn. My opponent's got to find an answer soon to Korvold, or else this is bad. Unfortunately for them, I do have protection, and I can't imagine nano-color, aka monocolor and non-color. Gain 1 life, untap, tap. Draw. Yeah, they are desperately hunting for answers right now, I think. I literally have lethal in the air this next turn. And even more if I, Yeah, you're out of mana, buddy. You can't do anything. I think this is just game now. Because they can't swing in. Let's draw a card. Besage you to destroy their staff. Play that. Play weird choice, but Splendid Reclamation, because it gets me free land, and it allows me to sack a Riveteer's Overlook, which gives me another Korvold proc. Which sounds weird, but it's good, because it also gets another land out of my deck. It seems like weirdly low value, but I'm honestly just going to keep swinging here and just, like, force them to make bad blocks. I'll sacrifice the Power Stone token because I don't need it for anything right now, and that makes it the de facto best thing to sack. I feel like my opponent is going to probably concede here, or just be desperately searching for an answer again. But yeah, they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble. Alright, well, they get a little bit of life now, but what are you going to do about Korvold? Like, just straight up, he exists. If I do that, I get to draw again. Tons of free mana here. Play out a Lulth, because she's good. Which gives me more sack outlets, including stuff to sack for Bastion of Remembrance. This. Ditch of Forest. I could have played Scute Swarm earlier here. I think this is lethal anyways, though, because I just sack a Spider. And even if they block Korvold, that extra point of damage is rough for them. Because Goldspan is now lethal. Yeah, this is Korvold. Korvold combos off so unbelievably hard. Good game. Like, they had a great idea for a deck, but they did miss a lot. Don't get me wrong, I think they did miss a lot, but Korvold's too good. Alright, what are we going up against? Queza, Augur of Agonies, da. Da. This will be our... Ooh, spicy hand, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot because Scute Swarm has an amazing synergy with Korvold, because if... One, it makes a giant pile of, you know, Scute Swarm tokens if you, like, just keep playing it. Two, it makes tokens that you can sack into Korvold as well. I do have to be careful, they're probably playing removal though, so I think I'm just gonna, like, let Scute Swarm land and let it be the target for removal. I want to play this as my black land for turn, so I can play Shambling Ghast anyways. There's another great sacrifice outlet target thing. I think I might just play Binding of the Old Gods on this next turn, even though it might be better to play Celeste. Alright, let's do math. I will have four lands available next turn, 5 total mana. Math does not work out. I think I kill the Mind Stone after looking at what's happening here. I see what's happening here. Oh god, wait, I can't actually sing that. Disney might sue me. Shit. Interesting. I don't mind replaying it here, though. I don't think that's a bad play on my opponent's part, but I don't mind replaying that here. It does mean on this next turn? Interesting. Alright, well now I have a real target for binding. They didn't protect it, is the crazy part. They might just, like, auto-concede here in a second, because I'm about to start popping off. And I think they know that I'm about to start popping off. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sixth land coming in. And we're about to play Korvold as well. I think they know that they're on a very, very short, interesting choice. Because I'm about to start popping off, because this allows me to go get any type of forest, which means I can go get my Triome, or Tri-land, sorry. I won't have any protection for Korvold is the big thing. But I'll have another very obvious onboard threat in Scute Swarm. But I could be walking into a board wipe. Who cares? That might have been a really aggressive, who cares, but my opponent has four open mana. If they play a depopulate here, I deserve to have my board wiped. I'm playing right into a problem child. They have one open blue. Do I think they run Spell Pierce? I also love that that accidentally triggers Korvold. Sagas either sacking themselves or transforming always accidentally triggers Korvold. I think I want to hold back on Kalane here because I think it's just the smart play. I think it's the smart play to just hold back and just like hold it in my hand right now with what I got. Especially when I could be playing right into a board wipe. I think they're hunting for them. I think they'd be rather silly to not run board wipes in this Esper control deck, right? Alright. There's gonna be a lot of triggers going off here. On the plus side, it looks like they have absolutely no interaction. It does also mean I get to feel better about doing this, though. Do I want to bother to Blood Chief's Thirst? Nah, I want to save it for their thing. Do I swing with... I don't swing with you or you. But then I just sack this, and I give something -1/-1. I don't mind paying that extra mana. I could have made a treasure token to, like, individually sack. Oh, right. That looks rather silly, but I don't really have anything else to do with my giant pile of scutes, huh? Items, at this point I was kind of hunting for Ashnod's Altar to make a ton of mana and draw a ton of cards, right? Archmage Emeritus. Fancy, fancy boy. Might have to kill him. I think that might be the play here, actually. Well, I just drew something that helps me kill him. Are they going to try and counterspell it? Because I don't mind that. They need to let me pay first, though, if they're smart. Yeah, they did let me pay first. Alright, give me 14 Scute Swarms. I'm sorry for the loud triggers. And I'm sorry, opponent, for making you deal with my Scute Swarms. As I'm now realizing, to save time, I should really only be swinging with Korvold. I really want some form of treasure generation. I have a lot of that in this deck. Or I just get a fucking mountain, okay. Ask and you shall not receive. I feel like my opponent is in currently panic mode. You have one thing swinging at them. It has hexproof, and it is a 9/9. It is quite difficult for most decks to deal with. And they're now on a literal 1-turn clock. If I am allowed to do my next turn, I win. I'm probably going to just be praying for a board wipe or something, right? Like, I feel like if they run depopulate, they have to be like, oh god, Mindstone sack, depopulate. You're witnessing what I said happen in real time, by the way. This commander is really powerful, though, their commander. I just got a really strong start with, like, just Scute Swarm. Like, early Paradise Druid Scute Swarm nonsense. Unfortunately for my opponent, I just win. Are they going to target my Swiftfoot boots and then try and kill him? Because, I mean, that's smart if they do that. That's like their best bet here is to just, like, do that. Right? Because he's the biggest threat on board. It does permanently get rid of my Swiftfoot boots. Oh, they can't kill him. They can only get rid of my boots. That's kind of depressing. This is going to be a weird one. I'm going to play Kalain to be able to sack a treasure token to make Korvold bigger before I swing. And I'm absolutely skipping out on my my land for turn because I don't want to have 29 Scute Swarm triggers go off. Okay, listen, if you're going to kill my Korvold, please just go ahead and do it. I'll sack for black mana, because I have a lot of it, and it makes me laugh. I'm basically just seeing if they want to kill my Korvold. That was still just straight up lethal because it had 7 counters on it. I have never been more satisfied with my choice of how I decided to do that turn. Deciding to play Kalain and sack a token because I was just like, I'll draw an extra card, I'll make Korvold a little bigger, I don't know what kind of effects they have. Turns out it was a flunk, which is -X, which is X is 7 minus the number of cards in that creature controller's hand. I drew a ton of cards before they did that, and then they minused it, which only put it to an 8/8, as opposed to the 11/11 it could have been. Right? 11/11? Yeah, 11/11 it could have been. So it lost like 3, but that 3 points of toughness was still enough to get it done. That was satisfying. Alright, let's see if we can get one more solid game. Kenrith matchup. Ugh. Kenrith is always a toss-up. You never know what you're playing into. Great starting hand. Just great starting hand. Mystic and Revenant on 2. We are playing into Kenrith, which is rough. You never know what you're playing. I've run into Shrines, Gates, just Joda style, 5-color good stuff, right? I should play this. I don't know if I'll be able to get good value out of this Culling Ritual, honestly. Which is sad. I might have to discard it. We'll see what they start playing. I might get good value out of it. I take back what I said. We're still going to play Key to the Archives and dump the Revenant, though. Especially so I can grab a D-Spark. I think grabbing a D-Spark's really good here, because it'll allow me to kill Kenrith, like, the second it lands on board. Damn it, why does Replicating Ring have to be 3 mana? Oh well. This is incredibly dangerous, but I'm doing it anyways. Most Kenrith decks I run into don't typically run, like, enough removal for me to be too worried, and especially when they're, like, they have red, blue, and black on board, right? But Kenrith doesn't want to deal with your threats. He wants to ramp into Kenrith and then just ignore you. And just do his own thing. They can't just straight play him, which is good and bad. Good because the greedy player in them wants to just slam him on board to be able to start activating his abilities ASAP. Bad because they could instead just use Cultivate and just mana ramp and instead just have a slightly better board position. Let me think about what I want to do. I find it weird that they're running snow covered, so they must be running Blood on the Snow. If this is like a snow-themed Kenrith deck, mad props, because that's really fucking hard to do. Time for the value train! Literally. Let's grab just like a basic green. I am hitting your Marrowleaf Pixie for 1. I'm going to show that I am just kind of going all in right now by sacking a land. I have ways to get lands back, so this doesn't actually bother me that much. Am I missing mana? Yeah. Does it bother me? No. I think I might just play Gix on this next turn if I get the mana for it. I think I'm a mana shy to be able to play Gix and Clay Revenant. Fires of Invention! You can cast spells in 2 spells each turn. Okay, so they can just like free cast shit? Literally, who cares? Alright, math is hard. Let me see. I can just kill their fires, can't I? Yeah, especially if I just do... Bye-bye. And GG. Bye, Kenrith. Yeah, Korvold. He's crazy. This is probably staying in there too, even though it's like a 4-minute game. Korvold has so much value and so much everything so fast. It's insane. Alright, Korvold into Muldrotha. Fancy. We keep these, by the way. Very, very good starting hand. I do have 2 tapped lands in it, but being able to play Elvish Mystic is great. I have several options on how I want to go about this. I think I'm going to play Jungle Hollow turn 1, though. And basically just so I can hold up Bloodchief's Thirst to get rid of a mana dork if I so choose. That's probably my best bet. That's probably my best bet. Pull out the Jungle Hollow, see if I can't Bloodchief's Thirst to get rid of a mana dork or something. Okay, no mana dork. If that's the case, we play a mountain so we can play Kalane. Never mind, we don't play Kalane. We do this, then we cultivate, because I want all the mana I can get my hands on. I have a red source. I don't need as much red. But let's do red-black and just get a second red on board and just a second black in hand. I'm saving my Cabaretti Courtyard, which is ironic because I'm probably should be getting a mountain with it. But I'm saving it just for, weird. Can I just play this first? I can. Nice. I have to sacrifice my Mystic, but that's fine. Cabaretti Courtyard, more card advantage. Poggers, poggers, poggers. We have a green source. Unfortunately, it's tapped. I can play out Kalane, Paradise Druid, and I'm mostly just praying that they don't, weird. I mean, if they attack me now, I just don't block. Well, I can also just exile their thing now. We have tons of options here. I think first and foremost is going to be Kalane, make a treasure token. Spend the treasure token to cast Paradise Druid to trigger Korvold. Play my black source. Boseiju away their Kaya's ghost form. I do give them a basic for that, but it's fine. And then I think I'm going to sack Kalane as my thing to sack. Could just... No, I can't. I don't know how to do math. Yeah, I think sacking away Kalane is the play here. I should be concerned that they have removal spells here. But what I shouldn't be concerned about is being a coward! Jokes aside, they're probably good, yeah. Come on. I find it hilarious that they've now stuck double Power 9 in their thing. It hasn't actually done anything for them. Yet. Bastion of Remembrance, which means the next time Korvold comes out, I have another good sack target, but this time I will have a Snakeskin Veil. So their targeted shit doesn't hit me anymore. Which is good, because typically you don't run into many sweepers in black nowadays. They're probably just hunting for, like, their extra turn cards now, right? Uro. Weird. I wish I'd had a Mayhem Devil at that point, but hey, can't win them all. Yeah, and I'll leave open my green mana. Because I want to be able to Snakeskin Veil if the worst comes to worst and they actually have targeted damage effects. Can't imagine they're playing more... I don't know why the fuck you have a Mox Pearl. Wait, is the whole thing of their... Just... Is their whole deck just spam cast Oracle of the Alpha? You do realize you're just making it harder to find what you actually want to play, right? Alright, well, let's kill Muldrotha. Play Haunted Ridge, play Etsushi. Sack Etsushi. To make 3 treasure tokens, which I can sack for card draw and mana advantage. I'll probably sack both my treasures for my Arcane Signet in my second main phase. We go full control mode for a second here. I want to be able to respond to anything that they cast. There we go. I don't know if I needed the full control for that, but it felt nice. Go ahead and sack that bad boy. I'm probably going to try and bring that thing back again. Let's sack that for black mana as part of my mana to bring back my Clay Revenant. Just replay it, because why not? And the same with Alana War Elves. Let's build up a mana base, build up a board state. I have Gaia's Gift to give Korvold Indestructible, and I can basically outpace whatever removal they play here. The only thing I'm scared about is their double extra turns that they may have gotten from Oracle of the Alpha. I don't care about any of these. These don't really do that much. I could awaken the woods here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. I could just grab like 5 sack fodder outlets really quick. So they can't block. What does this even turn into? Okay, they may reveal cards. I'm assuming they're just going to play Muldrotha. I know they're just... See, this is the only thing I'm concerned about by them playing Oracle of the Alpha. Okay. They cast the other ones without paying their mana costs. So I just don't have to care? Got it. Does this untap? No, it doesn't. You put that back into your library, shall you? Snakeskin Veilet.
Your corpse will make an excellent minion. Get out of my way!
You know that helps me, right?
I'll find a
Okay, well, anyways. I think they've now realized that if my board dies, they lose, so they now need to find a way to win without my board dying. Because if everything I control dies, they just die. Okay, they finally found a way around it with Uro. Oh, they just... Why would they concede? They had a chance. They had 6 whole life. Yeah, Korvold's kind of overpowered. I have so much card advantage, so much potential to do stuff. And my opponent's best option would be, like... swing at me with various stuff. Replay Muldrotha, maybe get back that. But yeah, Korvold just provides so much value. This card is insane. Absolutely bonkers commander. Really hard to play around.